Hamburg wahrscheinlich. Gute Bahn, ich glaube, das ist viel schwieriger werden. Welcome back to all of you who haven't been there in the beginning with our introduction. Yes, we got rid of our jackets because we have to talk a bit. My name is Lars Christian Klinert. I'm the chancellor of this university, Hwdk in Berlin, which actually translates to University of Applied Sciences for Business, Technology and Culture. On my right side is Mr. Jan Hwdk, who is the team coordinator of our company and student services. And we are going to talk about what we do, how we do it, and what the big prospects and opportunities studying in Germany, studying in Berlin, and studying at Hwdk are. We will switch to the presentation in a second. Once again, the recommendation, if you have any question arising from our talks or any question that you have regarding the lecture of Professor Kromer, that just finished a few minutes ago, you can post them in the chat that you will find below in the Zoom menu, and we will address those questions every once in a while. We will for sure have a question answering around by the end of our presentation. We start by telling you who we are and why we are trustworthy for you as a student, as a customer. We will talk about the work and study programs we offer, which are special because it's not like full-time studying every day on campus. It's different. It's much more practical skills that you achieve through those programs. We will talk about our programs, especially the master's programs, in depth. And in the end, we'll give you some final bits, especially regarding contemporary questions like what about the COVID-19 situation in Germany? How do we do it? And how much are the living costs, for example, in Germany? What would you have to calculate for that? Let's start by telling you who we are. We are part of one of the biggest education groups in Germany and EU-wide. The FNU group of companies has schools, vocational training centers, language schools all over Germany. We have two universities, one being the IBA, University of Cooperative Education, the other one being ourselves, the Hwdk University of Applied Sciences. We do this since 40 years. We do it in all different areas, the main areas being economics, business administration, which is also our focus, anything related to management. Hotel tourism is a very strong sector. We have, and also IT, health and social affairs, but trades and technology also included. We are spread all over the country. The university I'm going to talk about is located in Berlin, which is the main center, and also the city you should prefer. There is a smaller campus close to the border of France in Baden-Baden. You see it down southwest in Germany. And all the other cities have the IBA or FNU centers I just mentioned. In Berlin itself, the building you see is more than 5,000 square meters of knowledge, more than 5,000 square meters of university and language training. So the biggest parts we have in Berlin is the University of Applied Sciences on the one hand, but also the Academy of Languages on the other hand. And the Academy of Languages is important for you. I cannot mention this and strain this more enough, like telling you that even if you come over to study in English, even if you come over to have a job where you would talk mainly English, you should learn some German. This would be the one investment you should do. You should do it at home, you should do it online, you should do it here on the spot. Learn some German in order to be able to communicate with the people on the street, communicate with your coworkers that maybe are not so good and fluent in English. You should at least reach like a level of A2, B1, as you would call it, so lower intermediate, I'd say, and we can help you achieving that too. Where are we located? The big dot you see would be the Hwdk. It's located at Potsdamer Platz, one of the main city centers in Berlin. The small map you see here might be, well, 2 or 3% of the whole city. Berlin is really big, and you can travel like for hours with the public transportation. But this is really where the main center is, because you see that the government district, Brandenburg Gate, Angela Merkel, they are all within reach, within walking distance. The blue line you see, that might be interesting for some of you, is actually the Berlin Wall, where the Berlin Wall used to be. You know that Berlin is very interesting as a city, historically spoken, because it has been divided in the Cold War times, and after the fall of the Iron Curtain, the Berliners got rid of that wall. But it's great to visit and the spots and have a look at the remaining bits and pieces. Who are we? What do we do? We are a state-recognized university. We are accredited by the German Council of Science and Humanities. Wissenschaftsrat would be the German term, which means we're on the same page. We have the same quality level as state universities. This is very important to understand and very important for us to mention. There's a big difference between a state university and ours, apart from the services though. Our services are different and our focus is different. We'll talk about this in a sec. We have students on both campuses, Berlin and Baden-Baden, 15% of which are from abroad, 15% of which are from all different areas. We do have more European internationals. We do not have so many Indian internationals, but the big advantage for you as Indian customers would be that you're always in international groups. You're not, secluded in your own environment and like talk English all the time. You would be joining groups of Germans and European students also, and could interchange. Very quickly, we will come back to this sheet later, very quickly on what we have and what we do. We have 3 bachelor degrees to offer, one of which is our core product, the Business Administration Bachelor, with 12 different specializations where you would have to pick from. The specialization you pick would be the area where your dual partner company is located. So if you have a job, if you have a company supporting your studies, that would be the area that your company is located. International management being one of our English bachelor programs that you could do on campus. We talk about this later. We have a Bachelor of Science Business Informatics, which offers great opportunities for Indian customers. We will also talk about master programs, one being Master of Arts, Business Management and Development, which could be studied in English or German, and a Master of Arts for a Business Psychology with 2 specializations. We will also address this later. So let's talk about the work and study and why that is so special. We have the opportunity of offering you 3 different study models. One being the distance learning. Distance learning focuses on webinars such as these. So you have your professor one-to-one talking to you every second Saturday, that is at the moment. You have an online platform where you have gamification bits, where you have your PDFs that you would have to work with, but where you could also hand in your examinations or papers. The other one being the full-time studies. And this is important to mention because the full-time studies does not really mean you're full-time on campus. And that is really important for you to understand. Full-time studies at Hwdk means you're only here for 2 days a week. And this gives you a great opportunity of following a job, of following your own projects, or having even more language training for the rest of the week. So you have 2 days packed with university studies, and the rest you would have off for your own business. It's important to mention, even for those who opt for the dual work study model, because the dual work study model and our flexibility system will allow you to switch from one model to the other. So if you are ever not satisfied with your company, or maybe you could not manage to find a company with our help from the beginning, you could start or switch to the full-time model and then switch back as soon as you have a new company. So what is important about the dual work study that we're going to talk about in depth here is you have the big advantage of having both during your studies: practical experience in a company and theoretical training at the university. And the special thing, the USP of Hwdk is you have it every week. Every week you have the practical training at the company and the theoretical stuff from the university. We will talk about that split week because it's really special in a second also, but it's really important for you to understand right from the start that the German dual system is not like the English or American training on the job. Yeah, get you ready for a certain job and then you would have to stick to that job until the end. It's much more than this. You have an intertwined system between the company and the university. You have an exchange, an ongoing exchange right from the first semester up to your degree. And in the end, passing and receiving your bachelor's or master's degree would mean that you would not only have 3 years or 2 years of university studies, you would also have 3 years or 2 years of training on the German market, which is precious for international students wherever you go later. If you're want to work in the European Union, if you want to work at home in India, having 3 years of working experience on the German and highly competitive job market is really priceless. I have to give you some historical clues on why that is so special in Germany. Why couldn't that be copy-pasted to any other country? The easy answer is because it roots back to the German mid-ages. We had guilds of craftsmen and a system of journeymen and master journeymen traveling around from company to company, learning what they need to be a master themselves later. And this really derived from medieval history times and changed up till the 19th century. And it wasn't before the 20th century that you would have a vocational training system and a federal system, not before the 1970s. Where you had that important interchange between the private industry, private companies, and the vocational state schools. And you had the chambers of commerce and industry monitoring that process of exchange. And it really wasn't before the 1980s, 1990s that Germany decided to put this on a new level, to put this to the tertiary market, to put this to universities. And they said, why shouldn't we have the practical focus also in the university sector? They started in the 1990s, and you see here in the upper left section that up to this day, we are way beyond the 120,000 students participating in dual studies. We have 2020 more than 60,000 companies in Germany participating in that dual university programs. And you see the dual study fields are mainly engineering being the biggest one, and the second biggest, the one we focus on, being management and business administration. It's also important for you to see, and maybe a surprise, that this is the most advanced studies you can do in Germany, and it's not offered by the state universities. It is offered by the universities of applied sciences. More than 60% of those programs, or 60% are offered by the universities of applied sciences, and Hwdk is one of them. We are not like other universities of applied sciences. We will not do 3 months at university, 3 months at the company, or 1 week here, 1 week there. We do it every week. We call it the split week model of Hwdks. And why is that so important? Because the companies like it. That's the easy answer. Why do they like it? Because they have you every week. You're like a part-time worker. You're there 20 hours a week, and they can rely on you. They will not give you projects for 3 months, then forget you for another 3 months, and then have you back for another 3 months and desperately look for projects they could offer. No, they will give you and trust you with a work like a usual co-worker. And it's a big opportunity for you to apply the knowledge that you gain at university, that you gain at Hwdks, apply it directly every week to your company situation. And this is something that our employers, the companies we work with, really like. What are the big benefits for you, apart from having highly specialized small groups of learning and that direct and practical application of the knowledge? You have excellent career perspectives. We will talk about the placement details later, but having 3 years of bachelor or 2 years of master studies, having 3 years of working experience or 2 years of working experience will very, very probably give you a job offer right after your degree. The supervision is not done by university only. This is also important to understand. As I said, there's a continuous exchange between the companies and the university. The company will also read the papers that you write, because the papers are mainly about your work at the company. And yes, the grade will come from university, but there will be a communication process between the company and the university. We will get back to them every once in a while and ask how you do and how the situation for you as a coworker is. The biggest advantage, the tuition fees are paid by the company. You don't have to pay your tuition fees. We are a private university. Yes, it is a good investment, investing in a private university such as ours. But here the big plus is the company actually pays that. And they would also pay you an allowance on top. Depending on the sector you work in, you will have a certain amount of money that goes straight to your bank account and not to university. We will also address this question later when we switch to the different programs we have, but just keep that in mind. Why do companies do that? The biggest seller is that companies say it's the best way to introduce employees into the enterprise structure. And this is also the key knowledge you should take from this sheet. They will invest in you for 2 or 3 years. They want you to stay. They want you to continue your work with them in the end, which is also the reason why most of you will get a job contract right after your program. They invested in you. They know that you exactly know what to do in that company. Why? Because you had to move. That's the thing about the dual work study. You had to move through all different areas of that company. If you're working at the hotel tourism sector, you will know about how to clean a room up to the higher management and accounting. You need to learn from every perspective. And in the end, you're highly trained and very skilled, and they want to, of course, keep you, and you can decide whether you sign a contract with them or not. But that is the biggest seller we have for the companies. How does it work? The system is pretty easy, and it's mainly the same with all different dual work study programs. There is a difference, though, with Hwdk. Jan and his team will, many months before the semester starts, give calls to our companies. We have in Berlin, to give you an idea, at the moment we have around about 300 active companies. We have up to 1,000 companies if we need more seats available for our students. And they are spread all over Berlin. And we have that all over the Republic, actually, if you're also referring to our University of Cooperative Education. So Jan will make some phone calls and write some emails. Right a few months before the semester starts, and ask how many seats do you have available for students? How many students could you take? And the answer could be none. The answer could be 2, 3, or 5. And then we would ask, okay, what is the profile? What are you looking for? Are you okay with internationals? Do you want to expand into other countries? And then they would tell us, and we would be waiting for your online applications. And then, and that is the middle section, and that is special about us, We don't have like artificial intelligence bringing together like your application with the company. No, we do that by hand, which is why Jan and his team are so important. They know you, they know the company, and that's why they are a student and company service. They bring together both ends, and this is called matching. And that matching process could mean that you get 2 or 3 job offers, and it could mean that you have 2 or 3 job interviews, could mean that the first 2 are not so good because maybe you didn't perform too well, or maybe they were looking for something else. It could be that the third one would be the best and you would get your job offer and could then be signing contracts. And this is also important. There will be a contract between you and the company, which is supervised by us. There will be a contract between you and us, the company. And there is a frame contract between the company and the university, enabling us to do the quality management that you would need for university programs. And then, luckily, by the 1st of October or 1st of April, your studies at Hwdk can commence. Jan will be so kind as to take over and introduce the programs. Once again, if anybody of you joined, if you have questions or want to address me in more depth and more focus, any of the sheets, just write it in the chat section that you will find below in the Zoom menu, and we will address them later. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Lars. Well, now we're talking you through, or I will do it, to our programs here at Hwdk. And like Lars already told, we have 3 bachelor degrees, starting with our main program, Business Administration, that is taught in English. That is very, in German, sorry, that is very important to know. That's why what Lars already told, that it's needed that you talk at least a little coming to the next programs we do have. So Business Administration, special thing here in Germany, we do have these 12 specializations, because normally a business administration bachelor gives you a generalized overview of business administration. That's it. Then you're well prepared for the market, but you're not right in your branch you're working for later. And that's why we do offer these 12 specializations, starting with hotel and tourism. It's event management, for example, marketing, sales management, real estate management, for example. So in terms of this new work model that I'll talk you through a little later. It's your best preparation and your best way to start a good career in this very branch that you will then later work for. Okay, our next one is very interesting for you, I guess, because it's our international management bachelor. It's completely taught in English, 6 semesters long. I will tell you these key facts later on. So it's just required to be B2 level English, so it's perfect for you. Then we have our, tech bachelor. It's so-called Bachelor of Sciences. So it brings together, it's a business informatics, to be honest. So it brings together IT and management knowledge together and prepares you as well for the German, for the international market, still taught in German here. But very interesting for you, starting maybe with a bachelor, then you have to, and you want to climb up the career ladder, you need to do and to pass a master's degree, to be honest. I mean, lots of people coming out from high school, starting their university degrees, then doing the bachelor, but then, you're still on a big market, and so you have to be specialized, and that's what we do and offer with our 2 master's program. One is our business management and development master. You see, it's not specializing you, but it's generalizing, because it brings you up to the very highest management levels in companies, organizations, so on and so forth. And what's special at Hwdk's program here, we do have it in German and in English, of course. So 4 semesters, only English master degree brings you on a perfect way to your further career. And now we do have a new program starting this winter semester, 1st of October 2020. It's our business psychology master, 2 specializations, consulting, coaching. I'll give you a short overview later on. It's in German. I'll tell you the requirements later then. Okay, let's see the fact sheet or the key facts concerning our business administration bachelor. Like I said, 12 specializations, so you have to decide beforehand when in your process of applying to us and to the companies, of course, to see and to know and what kind of branch you want to go, which way you want to go, because you can't change in between. So if you start sales management, you stay with this specialization up to the very end to your bachelor thesis and your degree then. It lasts 6 semesters. It brings you, and that's very important, 180 ECTS, European Credit Transfer System points kind of. So, and what it's very interesting and special on that is that you can transfer it to every European or worldwide university, because it's a very acknowledged worldwide system. So you can do with our bachelor degree a master without complication anywhere. Okay, very important thing. Okay, looking at the study models we offer for this business administration bachelor, we do it in 2 models, dual work study model and the full-time model. I guess Lars told you a lot, so it brings you, of course, a very good opportunity to get some knowledge. Like I said, we do need a German proficiency, so that's what we can offer you here at our Academy of Languages, for example, to get you on this level of German proficiency, okay? And of course, like I said, well, just in 1 second, we're a private university. We do have tuition fees, but they are paid by a company.
Exactly. So that is the thing, and important for you to understand. You see the monthly fee here. If you're a dual work study student, you're not paying. The company pays. They even pay something on top straight to you. If you're a full-time student, you would have to pay. Yeah, as a dual student, you don't.
Exactly. But let's talk a bit to this dual work study model. And it's about the tuition fees on one hand. On the other hand, what do our company partners and cooperating partners are paying to you on kind of extra salary? And they do pay a lot, to be honest, because they need good qualified personnel. So they are from a range from 250 euros per month up to 800 per month on extra salary on top on your tuition fee. So it's a very good deal for you. And to be honest, our partner companies are willing to pay this to get good staff, of course. Now, let's see on our international management batch. I think that's a very good product for you. 6 semesters long, still 180 ECTS, both dual work study model and full-time model, and it's completely in English. So you don't, well, like we said, a little German is necessary, but it's completely in English. And our cooperating partners within this international management we're working with, they know that they are looking for internationals to study with them and to paying with them and to bring them to the next level of their career. So it's very good. It costs a little more because it's 620 per month, because we are at the USP kind of, because we will send you abroad in the 5th semester. So we are working, for example, with a university together in New York City. So it's a very good deal and a very good thing to get you more internationalized, to say, okay? And you will see it here, just give you a small overview on our module overview. You see the 5th semester is abroad. Just to make it a little clear, the red squares are the main business administration topics we are teaching you, and the blue ones are completely focused on the international way. And so it's intercultural competences. I mean, you're internationals already, but you have to know how to deal with European partners, Western partners, so on and so forth. We give you more business English proficiency, of course. So a very good deal for you. Okay, let's go to the next chart. Sorry, Lars. The same thing, money still. Our partners within this very model do pay money as well, of course. So it's still the same, like with the business administration, 250 up to 800. It depends on your qualification before, on your experience. Maybe you do kind of internship beforehand, and maybe if you come a little earlier to Germany beforehand of your studies here in Berlin, you could do an internship before and to get to know your partner company better and just, you know, getting experience, and then of course in your interview you could get a agreement with which is very good paid, of course.
But to make one thing clear again, yes, we would accept you with a B2 English, no problem. Yeah, you have to prove it by a language certificate. You could do it right on the spot here. In the case of you, since you're Indian and English is one of the official languages, you might not have to prove it at all, so you don't have to worry here. But still, we're not asking for German, but we want you to learn some German. If you want to do the dual study, I have to strain it again. Learn some German. Learn it in your home country. Learn it by an app, and then come over and learn the other stuff you need. But you should reach A2-B1 level if you want to find a company.
Exactly, exactly. Just to make it clear, a little German is very advantageous, to be honest, to find a good job place here. Again, next program we do have here, our Bachelor of Sciences, Business Informatics in German, completely in German. So like we said just beforehand, German is required. Both the same dual work study model, full-time model, 6 semesters long, 180 credits, cost 580 euros per month. Still, the company is paying. You see, we are kind of not losing the focus on business administration, but we are more concentrating on the IT sector and bringing you Industry 4.0 and so on and so forth, you know, to get you advanced and good qualified for the job market then. And that's very, very interesting. And I know that because I'm working with our partner companies together and talking to them kind of every week, and they do pay a lot because they do need people knowing, you know, IT stuff and so on and so forth. And you see in the figures here, from 500 to up to 1,500 per month, euro per month. That's incredible, to be honest. Plus the tuition fees, don't forget
exactly.
that. Okay.
That is the key factor here and the big advantage. We have more seats at companies available than we have students opting for them. This is the big chance for internationals. The companies are not so picky in this area regarding your German skills. Yes, you need to prove a B2 German on paper, but they would not, you know, in a job interview ask you questions that are mostly difficult or anything. What they wanted to see is that you are into IT. Maybe you have some experience already coming over to Germany, and they would like hire you right away if you have that. And as Ian said, would pay much more on top than with the business administration. So this is highly interesting for international students.
Exactly, exactly. So a very important point I want to make clear right now, it's our admission criteria. It's coming from the Berlin state, so we are not, it's not our thing. We have to stick to the plan, to be honest. So what we need from you concerning the bachelor degree is a university entrance qualification. It's in Germany, we call it German Abitur, you can call it IB, and so it's very necessary. So if you hold an Indian high school diploma, we have to make sure that it fits to the German standards, and that's why we are working together with an organization that's called UniAssist. UniAssist is working for hundreds, maybe thousands of German universities because they do evaluate your papers, your documents, because there's up to 200 something countries worldwide, and so the education systems are differing, so it's pretty hard to get them on the same level and to find out if they fit the same level and the requirements. So that's why we use this institution to check them. So it's very necessary, and it's required that you apply there too. So you send their documents. It's working online and via snail mail, so it's working very good, and they're very service orientated, so it works pretty well. So after that, we of course do an online application. We'll talk to you later on that, but then the language certificate is very, very needed here. For the English programs, of course, it would be B2 level. Regarding the Indian, well, country, India, it's an official language there, so it should be no problem at all. Regarding the German proficiency, we do need a test, a diploma, so on and so forth.
One postscript to this admission. It is a bit complicated. So the Germans love paper, the Germans love rules and laws, but that is the reason why we have international partners supporting us. So whoever invited you to this webinar can be a support with this, so you don't have to worry about the paperwork. They will tell you what we need, they will tell you how to do it, and you will have big advantages of having somebody in India that knows the system and knows how to support you also with visa. That is another thing we will address later.
Exactly, exactly. So let's have a look at our master's program, and I think that's why we're here right now and today, because this English Business Management and Development Master fits perfectly to you. If you have a bachelor degree, I will give you the details on the requirements later on. You can do this master with only 4 semesters long. It brings you 120 credits. So together with a 180 credits bachelor and a 120 credit master, you can do your PhD, for example, in the European Union, worldwide, no problem. We do have this master in 3 models. It's in the dual work study model. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the most interesting thing for you. We do have it in the full-time study model. Like Lars said, this concept of the split week is still there. So 2 days of studying here at university, 3 days, I won't say off, but you can focus and make more yourself studying kind of. You could go and work as a working student, for example. So it's no problem. It's exactly traineeship, internship, whatsoever. So it's very, very, very flexible to you to get better and better and better. So, and that's why for this master program, we have a language requirement that's much higher than the bachelor degree. So it's C1 English, but still, I'm very sure no problem for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
One important thing for this master, Jan already mentioned, it's a master that prepares you for the higher management. So this means we have a bit of a requirement that you already know something about business administration and management. This does not mean that you would have to have studied business administration or management. It means that some knowledge or some training of business management and or management should be included in your bachelor. If you do not have that, we have a pre-master. The pre-master program, we will not talk about this in depth. We could talk, you could talk to our partner on the spot. The pre-master would mean that you have 3 months, July, August, September, where we would give you the basis, the foundation for our master program. It actually means that you have it's like a business administration bachelor within 3 months. It's a Monday to Friday. It's a kind of 24/7 situation if you want, but it's a perfect preparation for any master in Germany. For our master, it would be a pre-requirement if you're not coming from the business administration management sector. But to be honest, many bachelor programs already include a little bit of management and business administration. We will have a look at your bachelor and then decide whether we could allow you to enter the master or whether you should visit our pre-master program.
It's kind of a summer school, to be honest.
It's a summer school if you want. Yeah.
So and you can then also learn Berlin, for example.
And learn some more language if you want. You also have that opportunity then.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So quick look on our module overview. You see the master is 4 semesters long, but actually, you know, the teaching and the learning is only 3 semesters, because on your very last semester, the 4th semester, you're just concentrating on your master thesis, and you're doing it together with a partner company, of course. So you're still learning and you still supporting your company. So the master business management development, like in its title, you know, it brings you on the next level, looking how you can optimize, for example, an organization, your company. It's about change management, industry 4.0. And so it just makes you a good manager, a good high-level manager later on in your company worldwide, of course, because still it's in English.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, well, yeah, of course, our partners still paying allowance or extra salary, like to say, and it's a range from 700 up to 1,800 euro per month. Because why do they do this? Because you have already a bachelor degree in your pockets. You maybe have studied dual work model here in Germany, somewhere else maybe. So you have your experience all together, and then it brings you to the master, and that's why they do pay very likely these high amounts of extra salary.
Okay. We have to mention though that the master sector with the dual work study is highly competitive. So you should have good grades, or you should prove a high motivation. That is also important. You need to write motivation letters, why you want to study that, and you need to make clear right from the start that you're the one for that position. You would have to compete with German students also applying for those dual company positions. We will help you, we will prepare you, we also prepare you for the job interviews. but you have to really be behind it. And one way of proving that is by learning the German language a bit and show them, yeah, you're actually serious about working in Germany and maybe also continuing later. That's the best way. I want to mention something regarding the allowance, because some of you might do calculations, okay, how much do I have to spend and how could I cope being in Germany? There are some rules and regulations that our local partners can tell you more about. One being the blocked account. Every student, every international student from third-party countries would need to have a blocked account. And that blocked account would have to make sure that you're actually able of financing your studies. This is important. It's important for you to talk about or hear the bank details later, also because they will tell you on how to finance your studies abroad. The German state wants to see that you actually have the financial skills of doing your studies abroad. And the blocked account would usually be around about, I think at the moment it's 10,000 euro. A blocked account means that you can only take a certain amount of euro per month for your living costs. We will talk about those expenses in a second, but anything you learn, anything you gain from your dual studies by the company, your salary will be on top of that. So it's a big advantage of, you know, giving yourself a raise in a bit if you want.
Exactly, Lars. So our last program, it's completely in German. That's why I will talk you a little.
We talk in German now.
Yeah, okay. No, we don't do that. Otherwise, you won't understand anything. No. So that's our new business psychology master. 2 models, 4 or 3 semesters long. Like I said, completely taught in German, level C1 required. But that's a little thing just to get in your mind. We do have 2 specializations here. So it's business coaching, business consulting. And why did we develop this very program? Because our partner companies are asking for that. It's like with the Master Business Management Development, they need generalized managers and they need specialized coaches and consultants to look at an organization, to see what kind of perspectives are there to develop this company. Okay, so just a quick view. Semester 1 is concentrated on business administration topics, and then we split from the 2nd semester up to the 3rd, 2 ways in parallel: the business coaching details and the business consulting details, and then ending up at the very end at the master's thesis in the 4th semester. Okay, and that's one thing I just said before. The admission criteria for the masters it's very easy to understand, of course, because we only need a bachelor's degree. It's very, very easy. I mean, like Lars said before, for our master business management development, it's needed to have some knowledge on business administration, but we will check it by ourselves. Like for the bachelor degree program admission criteria, we do work together with UniAssist as well to make it just clear. Legal standards, we have to keep them, and to make sure that everything is in fine order. Then this online application simultaneously kind of, and then once again the language certificate we need to just check, on regarding level C1.
One tip to you. And if you talk to our local partners, this is an important tip. UniAssist takes some time. Visa application will take some time. You are not losing, but you have to calculate a few weeks. You should start with the online application directly to us. Your local partner, talk to him and tell him, yeah, I want to start the UniAssist application process. But before that, send all the documents to our database, because this enables us to have a look at your papers, on your qualifications, and give you feedback on your motivation letter, and maybe already match you or pre-match you, I want to say, to companies. The more time we have, the longer before your studies commence you are here. If you manage to come much earlier than semester start and maybe give it a try with the German language, the better your chances are that we will find a company, because you're here on the spot. You can have job interviews already. The longer you wait, the more problems we will have matching you, because the company wants to see you in person, wants to talk to you one-to-one, and most companies will not accept a Skype interview. They want to see you here in Berlin because they're insecure about the visa conditions, if you can arrive at all, and if they are signing job contracts, they want to get to know you in person.
Yeah, but we provide the service, to bring you together with our partner companies. We check your application documents, we'll give you feedback, maybe on your picture, maybe on your motivation letter, maybe on your CV, and so on and so forth. And besides checking your master entry qualifications or university entrance qualifications as well, together with Unisys. So you're in best hands with us.
That's the difference to a state university where you have thousands and thousands of students, and also some private universities that are much bigger than we are. And they have much more university programs and they have much more people, but they don't have that handy one-to-one experience that we can offer as Hwdk. And why should you do all that? We will talk about this on the next sheet. You see what your opportunities are.
Exactly. I mean, since we are working together for a long time, for years with our partner companies, they do pay this extra salary, and they do offer you afterwards very good possibility, and the chance is by 85%. And we do make surveys here with our alumni here in Berlin at Hwdk, that 85% after doing and finishing their bachelor or their master's degree have directly a job offer from the partner company they studied with, or they are recruited by another one and getting maybe paid better. And that you see with the starting salaries, it's just an average, but it makes it clear a bachelor's graduate here in Germany earns 35 up to 40K per year, so it's a very good and euro, of course, entrance to the job market. And we're looking at the master's graduates, of course, they're getting paid better and better and better. And I mean, they are well prepared in doing, they know the company before, and they work together with them at least 2 years, so they know how it works, and they know their boss, CEO, co-workers, and that's why they have a very good standing, and that's why they are very good paid here.
So to make this clear, 85% of our graduates, 85% of our students have a job right after they finish university. Right away. They will have the job offer, they will have the job contract, and they will continue right after their studies. The rest will have it after a few weeks or maybe 2 months. Maybe they are picky, maybe they will have travel, maybe they do something else. The dual work study is the best way of entering the German market, the German job market. And this is important for you. Why? And that's the lower section. After your studies, if you want to stay, if you want to have a job visa, you would have to have a binding job offer by a German company. And which company knows you best? Which company knows that you're a good worker? That would most probably the company that invested for 2 or 3 years money into you. And that would be the company you worked at in the dual study. That is why the situation and your acceptance is so important. You need to work hard in order to prove that you would be a good worker later. If you have that job offer, and it's concrete, it's binding, it's signed by the company, you can go to the local authorities and you could switch on the spot. You don't have to return to India. You can do it here. You can switch your residence permit to a work visa for qualified professionals. You can do it right here with your degree, with your master's or bachelor degree. And you have an initiative of the German state. It's called Make It in Germany. You have more details there. They have a questionnaire telling you what to do, when to do it, how. But of course, we have an international office. Having you here on the spot, we will also support you with this. That's a big news now. And I haven't told this to too many people. We have as a university, very close ties to the Berlin state. And the Berlin state with Berlin Partner, which is a company we're part in, told us that they would be ready to give you that visa, that working visa, within 2 weeks. This is ultimately fast. You will not have this any faster anywhere in the Republic. So, summarizing, if you're a good dual student, if you have your degree, if the company was satisfied with you, the company will give you a job offer. With that job offer, you can directly go to the Berlin state and have your working visa for Germany. Again, the mentioning of our chat If you have questions that arise from that section of our talks, just write it in the chat. We will address them after this final part. We wanted to talk about another thing. How much does it cost to be in Germany? How much does it cost to make a living? And this would be the average expense fees for students. You have the room rent and the utilities. Could be 350, could be a bit more depending on your standards and depending what you find. Could be that in the beginning, since you don't have enough time, you find something that's a bit more expensive, and then you have your first semester to find something else and maybe share an accommodation. Also important, you've seen that intro film in the beginning, and you've seen some beds and other facilities. We have on-campus accommodation. We have our own private student hostel that you could rent, where you have your own private bathroom. We offer this as a university, which is also very unique. So if you had trouble finding anything right from the beginning, just ask us and we could help you out with room. Food, drink, clothing, working materials, it all adds up to approximately 850 in the average. Could be below that. You could make it with 650, 700. Could be much beyond that if you're more into the leisure activities. I see here €65. Yeah.
It depends on the leisure, I guess.
It depends on the leisure activities. You will get huge student discounts with all museums and galleries, of course, but there are other leisure activities in Berlin to be visited.
Plenty of them, to be honest.
Stay focused though, don't get distracted. So, but this would be something for you to calculate, 850, and you take this from your blocked account, you take this from the salary of your company, and you still have enough money to have some extras. Let's talk about COVID-19 situation and the coronavirus in Germany. Germany is doing really, really well in the EU. You see, maybe the curves are not so graphic as they should be. You see that the German curve stabilized on a high top. There are not many rises anymore. We have this sheet is from yesterday, and that is the most important bit. In 1 million, Germany only has 110 death casualties. USA has 443, UK has 671, Italy, Spain is much worse. We had to adjust to that also as a university, of course. The question might be, why is Germany so good with this? Because A, we have a strong healthcare system, and B, we have a high acceptance rate towards the German government because they're really doing well with the rules and regulations. And those rules and regulations led to us as a university being virtualized for a whole semester. The whole summer semester, starting by the 1st of April, we had to kind of do it overnight. So all the lectures we had, all the other seminars had to be online, one-to-one between the teacher, the professor, and the students. And it worked really, really well. We knew how to do it because we have our distance learning program since years. But we were surprised ourselves that the acceptance was so high and that the quality in the end was so good. But apart from that virtualization, we also have a highly standardized hygiene regime in the whole building. So you have to have those face masks, yes. Apart from us too. I mean, we're working every day. If we're not sick today, we should be tomorrow. But if you move through the building and if you get to know other students or customers, everybody has to wear a face mask. We have a hygiene rule with disinfectors and also like 2 meters of distance between you and others. And it's working out. We don't have any casualties on campus so far, knocking on wood. I hope that will stay like this. Guys, that's about it. I will give the word to Tim, one of our students, in a few seconds, who will give you testimonial firsthand. I mean, we could tell you a lot, but he could tell you from the first person perspective on how it is being on campus and studying with us. 2 things are important to mention, though. The international application system is closing by July 31st already. There could be slight prolongations to individual circumstances. So if you have trouble, talk to our local partner and he can be of help. But also important for you, we have an exclusive discount for the next semester for our Indian customers. So if you're interested, also our local partner will talk about this with you in person. So, Tim, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I hear you clear and loud. Once again, questions from this presentation or questions from anything Tim has to say. Actually, we're not sure about what Tim is going to say, so I hope he doesn't beat. Will be addressed later. Let's see. Any question will be addressed later. Just write it in the chat, and we will talk after Tim has talked. We will be here again and address all your languages. So, Tim, it's your takeover.
Thank you very much. Here I am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim. I'm 21 years old, and I'm currently studying my Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration for 2.5 years now. My specialization is Hotel and Tourism Management, and in fact, I'm studying in the dual system. My cooperative company is Visit Berlin, which is the official tourism organization of the city Berlin. To my future, when I finish my bachelor degree in September, I will start a master degree at the Hwdk in October in business management and development. One second. Yeah. In my opinion, the reasons for studying at the Hwdk, sorry, are that you have work and study in the same week, the split week practice, which was already mentioned by Mr. Klinert. So in my 2.5 years I'm studying right now, it never went boring. I have work and study in the same week. There are some kind of systems at public universities which have 3 months university and then 3 months company. But in my opinion, it's more interesting to have both in 1 week. One more reason for me is the direct contact to professors and lecturers because of small groups. The advantage is that the professor or the lecturer knows what you can do or can't do, so he can help you in certain situations even better. Small groups have the advantage that you get to know your colleagues, the other students pretty quick and have even more fun while studying. The last reason for me why you should study at the Hwdk is the flexible study, which was already mentioned, that you have the possibility to switch between a dual study and a full-time study. Yes, as I already mentioned, I want to do my master degree in October, or want to start my master degree in October. Why do I want to do that? In general, I will want to intensify my knowledge in business administration. And what already was mentioned by Mr. Hwdk, that I want to stand out from other Bachelor of Arts students which apply for the same job as I am. So it can, or I believe it can get really hard to find a job if you just have the same degree as the other applicants. Why do I want my master at the Hwdk? One big factor for me are the fixed weekdays, so that the university tells me on those 2 days you have to be there, on the other 3 days you can go to work or something like that. I will stay at my company, Visit Berlin, so it gives me a bit of communication and coordination space to talk to my company on which days I'm in the company and on which days I can't be there. And of course, I'm pretty happy with the professors and lecturers. They gave me no reason to change my university. So that's why I will start my master at the Hwdk. Why Berlin as an international student? In my opinion, it's a pretty multicultural city. If you walk through Berlin, you will see or meet many different people from many different cultures. Moreover, Berlin is worldwide known in the pretty varied city. So you have, on the one hand, the big city life, but on the other hand, you have parks, you have lakes, you have nature. So you can go wherever you want to go. It's not just a big city, it's a pretty cool green city. Then you can do many activities. For example, sightseeing, you can do many sports, you can have fun, like go to clubs with your friends, not right now, but hopefully in the future, you can go to bars, you can do whatever you want in Berlin. So that's a big bonus. And lastly, in my opinion, the history of Berlin is pretty interesting and extraordinary, and it could be pretty interesting to explore it. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you very much, Tim. That was
quick.
Great, informative. Thanks a lot. Just leave your mic on, maybe, Tim. Maybe there's questions that also would address you, or we could include you. Just a question, Steffen Kromer. Steffen, you're still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, perfect. All right. So what we're going to do now is we cannot address all questions, I guess. Some of them are redundant. Some of them are asked twice and maybe asked before we had the sheets illustrating the answer. But we would start with the question, how are the job prospects in Berlin? I think we answered that for some extent. You've seen that we have a placement rate of 85% right after your studies, which means you would get a job right away. And the rest, the remaining 15%, will have it after a few weeks. Yes, not all of them will be staying in Berlin, but they could go to any other place in the Republic, and they do not have any issue finding a job with their bachelor master degree. Is distance education accepted? I'm not sure about that question. Could be read as accepted by universities or accepted by in Germany at all. So we mentioned that we have a distance learning model. This can be visited in some study programs. We have not in all, though. Only exception being this COVID-19 situation. We had to virtualize everything. So in a way, everything was distance learning, but of course it wasn't, because a distance learning program would involve much more than just virtualizing your sessions that you would do on campus. Generally spoken, the employers would not make a difference between a degree that you achieve through distance learning or a degree that you would receive through a presence on campus training. Maybe on the contrary, some people that know what it means to have a distance learning degree would know that you are a really organized learner, that you can cope with the pressure you have as a distance learner, because you have to do much more on your own. And maybe some bosses or HR guys would have this as a big advantage if you did this online. I hope this answers your question. How is the pandemic treating fresh graduates in terms of opportunities? I'm not too sure on how to answer this. I mean, it refers to how would you, like entering the country, what are the rules and regulations? Germany is constantly and gradually opening up to internationals again. You have a certain list of countries that are allowed to enter without further ado. You have other countries that are allowed to enter but would have to stay in 2 weeks of self-containment still. I'm not quite sure about the situation with India. We would have to look that up, or our local partner could help you with that. We do have some internationals coming in for this winter. Others would be coming in next year. So it's hard to answer this question because it's really a volatile situation. We plan to get back to on-campus teaching in winter. These are our plans, and we just have to see how the situation further evolves. What are the master's management specializations? Do you have IT management? Maybe, Jan, you want to address that?
Not directly, like we showed you in this chart with a module overview there. It's a generalizing master, so it's a point, and you do have some subjects, topics where you can choose in between, and we do have IT there, but it's not kind of our IT bachelor degree, of course.
It's an election module you can pick.
Exactly. So it's part of the whole business, of the whole studies, of the whole program, but it's not focusing on IT. But it's maybe not necessary, to be honest, because if you're starting and doing and passing a master degree program, you want and you don't want to just sit in front of a laptop or computer, I don't know, and just working, you know, this IT stuff. But you are capable of just lead people, you know, that's why you're doing a master. It's higher management level. And that's why we just give you a little more knowledge on it, but focusing on HR, change management, sustainability, for example, to just bring these companies, organizations where we're working then later just a step further. Okay.
Next question from Ija Kohli asking, can you please explain the fees, courses, and placements? I think we did that. Broadly spoken, 580 per month for the bachelor's. International being a bit more expensive due to that fifth semester abroad, it's 620. Either you pay it as a full-time student or the company would pay it for you. The master's is a bit more expensive, 590 per month. Same situation, full-time students pay on their own, and dual students would have it paid by their company. How about the rankings of Hwdk? It's really hard to answer. You have hundreds of rankings. You cannot refer to state ranking or anything. There is none such thing. You have online platforms where you have the student satisfaction rate, where you have maybe a comparison of the academic output of our professors. You can also check our website regarding that, and we are doing really good with that situation. You have to keep in mind we're like a middle-sized university, 600 students, so there's not a huge amount of number of students that could evaluate, but we're doing pretty good.
Exactly, and don't forget we are stately recognized. We are accredited every 2 years. Our institution, our program, so we will fulfill the same requirements at the public universities here in Germany do. But we do on top, you know, this plus thing, we do this service matching you and getting you in touch with cooperating companies that will no public university in Germany will do for you. They maybe give you a list of partner companies, but it doesn't make sure that you find one place for the work-study program. So that's what we're doing. That's what my team is doing and offering, you know, this service, providing to give you feedback on your applications and then bring you in touch. You know, I mean, the main goal is that you're signing contract with the company here, doing your studies, passing your program here, and then entering the German job market. It's perfect, you know.
The next question by PC1, whoever that might be, is how much are the company sponsors? Is it full study cost, and is the allowance enough for students for living? I think we answered this also. Like, you have your blocked account, and the blocked account makes sure that you have enough money for living. Everything you get from the company would be on top and could help you get along better. And yes, of course, the tuition fees paid in full by the companies. Then there is a question by Raul regarding IELTS, German language. I can't really...
I mean, I think it's on these requirements we just told you, the admission requirements. You know, it's on the level of proficiency, German proficiency, English proficiency. Once again, the bachelor degree needs a B2 level, German or English. English for you, pretty easy. And for the master's program, a C1 level in English, so very, very fine for you. Still, if you're applying to the UniAssist organization, they will check your language level as well.
Yeah,
no
and we are not limited, if the question is referring to IELTS and so on, we're not limited to any format of testing. Yeah, you could do TOEFL, you could do IELTS, you could do Cambridge, you could be here on the spot and we could examine you. It's not a big deal, but for you as an Indian customer, it shouldn't be a big deal at all. Of course, we have to look at your CV and so on, but usually if the language of your home country is English, or one of the languages is English, there's not a big deal here. Can commerce students do Bachelor of Science Business Informatics? Any bachelor would be asking for your entry qualification for Germany. Usually you would have to have a Studienkolleg, as we call it, it's a kind of pathway program. If you studied at another foreign university, if you studied 1-2 semesters, could be that you could join directly. These are questions that have to be answered individually. So we need your application. Our partner, our local partner, needs your application, and we would have to answer this individually for each and every one of you. Interest in English taught, I think we mentioned that enough. Would companies be willing to sponsor English studies, and would university help in German language? Second part of the question, yes. Sometimes it's included in your studies. If you, for example, visit international management, you would have German studies included in the first few semesters. If you're here on spot and don't do international management, you can visit our other language programs. They are running all year round. You can just join them because we have the language school that belongs to university right here on the spot, which is also pretty unique. Would companies be willing to sponsor English students? Yes, if you prove that you're motivated enough, that you're qualified, that you're a good student. And also, I mentioned this quite some time now and a few times, prove them that you're serious by learning some German. English, yes, do an English language program, but learn some German.
Exactly.
You need to talk to coworkers, you need to talk to the average cleaning lady, you need to talk to other people at the office that might be not be able to understand English. Most of the Berlin people, though, are really international and talk English and understand what you're saying. But you need to prove it in your CV that you're serious by having learned some German. Interested in public universities where tuition fees are free? Yes, it's your good right. We cannot tell you much more about this. Just have a look at all the different public universities there are. They don't have the practical approach we offer. They offer more of academical tuition. In the end, you have your degree, but you don't have the working experience. You would have to do that on your own. I think the job prospects and opportunities you gain through our studies are much better, but of course it's your individual decision and individual choice. How do I apply to be on the dual work study? Easy application process. You would go to our local partner. He would help you step by step during the application. We would ask what you want to do. If you want to be a full-time student or dual work study student, we would then, as I mentioned earlier, do that matching process, finding companies for you. Once again, the sooner you're here, the better. The sooner you're here, the higher the chances that we find a company actually supporting you. 3 questions from Ajwati. 1, what are the entry requirements for bachelors and masters? I think we talked about this. 2, are gaps and there could be gaps. We call it holiday semester. You could do like 1 semester off where everything is on pause if you need to return to your home country, for example, and re-enter later to continue your studies. There are also people that would do a small gap after the bachelor, but keep in mind that as soon as you finish your university program, you will, with a certain amount of time that they would offer you, you would lose your student status. And the student status was the reason for your visa. So you need to find another visa prospect, and that prospect would be a working visa for qualified workers. That's what we were talking about earlier. You cannot just stay and do continue holidays or anything. You need to go back to the authorities and tell them what your plans are for the next future. Are backlogs accepted? If yes, how much? This goes too much into detail with our study programs. Of course, you don't have to pass every exam. Of course, you have 1, 2, 3 trials. Of course, we would be very sympathetic with internationals in the beginning regarding the language proficiency. We are here to help. Don't get too distracted by those rules. You will learn them sooner or later. But we are here to help, and we're here to make sure that you don't, fall through the system. Next question, Vikas Soni. How do I get to study on the dual study program? Please, is there any max age for the program? First part we answered. Second part has to do with that. The older you are, the less opportunity companies would see that you're actually a good worker later and stay longer, and they could accompany you through your process for further working in Germany. So also that is the one side of the coin. Yeah, the companies would prefer students, I'm talking about bachelors now, that are like 21, 22, 23. Masters, of course, can be older because they already did the bachelor's, but 40-year-olds like I am now, I think you wouldn't have a chance finding a company. They prefer to invest in young people that have, you know, their career path ahead of them. But also the other side of that coin is if you're too old and if you don't have that average age of students, you might have trouble getting the visa from the authorities in India. Because handing out student visa, they would check your CV, what you did so far, and if they think you're able to finish your degree in Germany, and the age has some influence on that. Bachelor's, 13 years of education, please talk to our partners in India. This is a Studienkolleg question. This is a question of school education. You need to talk to the experts on the spot. We cannot answer this in depth, also because UniAssist will examine this for us, but our partners can help you right from the start. I think the next question had to do with Masters Mechatronics. Yeah, this is also like an individual experience question that our local partners would have to answer. What your like preconditions are, what your master degree would help in Germany. Please ask our partners. What are the major intakes? We have intakes every summer and every winter. Winter, as a rule of thumb, no, it's strict. It's the 1st of April. Winter is that summer. Winter would be the 1st of October. We don't have strict timelines, so if you have trouble joining the program, we could be of help with that too. But we need some time to evaluate your application. UniAssist needs time. The local embassies need time. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 months where they would process all your papers. The sooner you start, the better, which is also we have that 31st of July is a deadline for international applications, because we want to make possible for you to join us. If you can't, you could switch to summer, no problem, but be there as soon as you can. Will students have the opportunity to study online for September 20, seeing the current scenario of COVID-19? It's too soon to answer that. There is a tendency of the German state opening up all education systems again. We would just have to see. There will be decisions been made in July, beginning of August, and we just have to wait till the new rules and regulations come out. Another question he had done his MBA, 4 years of experience, A2 level, which is really good. I was planning to do my full-time MBA in Germany. That would be helping me for the career. Yeah, just apply. Talk to our local partners. They will have a look at your papers on your MBA and see whether we could accept you for our master's program.
Sounds amazing, right?
Sounds like a good prospect. Age limit, we talked about this. We talked about the rankings. If the student switches to full-time study, what will be the tuition fee in that situation? We talked about this too. There is a flexibility if you're losing your company or you don't find a company right from the start because you haven't been there soon enough to find one, or if you're not satisfied with the company and want to switch back to another system, you can switch between the dual and the full-time. Switching though, meaning that you would have to finance the monthly fee of 580, 590 euro yourself. Keep this in mind. I talked about this earlier. I said that the full-time students would have only 2 days of university on campus tuition. The rest you could use for jobs or internships. Does the transfer of credit from Indian university, happen? Of course it happens. This is also something we would have to look at in depth. Every country has its own credit system. The European credit system is comparable, but not one-to-one translatable to other systems. But yes, we have an international office. We have professors having a look at your a transcript of records and then tell you if we could accept anything from your previous sessions. The one who have completed his Bachelor in Science, more than 5 years of experience, does he need to undergraduate semester? It's the same. Yeah, we have to have a look at the content of your Bachelor of Science. If there's any management or business related content included, could be a good chance that we could accept you right away, but we need to look at the papers. Okay, Raul again. Sorry, Master Mechatronics, engineering requirements. Raul, are you there? Do you have a microphone? Raul, can you hear us?
He's in chat. He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. I'm not sure about his question here. Yeah, Raul, once again, I mean, what we could offer is just send an email with your transcripts or records and maybe the master you did to our local partners, and they will contact us and we will have a look at your papers and give you an estimation if it's worth of applying with us or not. I'm not sure about your writing here. We just have to have a look at what you actually did and if this is applicable for further studies in Germany. Okay, guys, this is about it. Unless there's anybody of you who wants to talk, maybe you don't want to write, maybe you want to talk in person, you still have the option now before we close. And keep in mind that right after this, you will have the ICICI Bank talk about the bank details, about the bank loans. I think that could be interesting for you. Maybe they would also talk about the blocked accounts that you would need in Germany. I'm not sure. If not, the local partners would be the ones to talk to. And as I said, keep in mind that especially in Corona times now, the visa application process might need a bit longer than usual. So the sooner you have your papers ready, the sooner you have everything together and can go to the German embassy, that the embassies are opening up. You could start it as soon as possible, because they have quite some waiting line now with other students, and the sooner you get there, the better.
Raul asked for the mail ID.
Yeah, we just posted it, but keep in mind, you have people that invited you to this webinar. Those would be the perfect people on the spot to talk to, because they would have all the details from us and would also pre-evaluate your papers and help us with the whole choosing an application process. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks, Jan. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Stefan. And also thank you to Andy, who is the technician in charge doing all the director's work here. And we will now be fading out and handing over to the ICICI Bank. Thanks a lot, and maybe see you soon in Berlin. Bye.
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 Yeah, hi everyone. Very good afternoon. Yeah, so very good afternoon, everybody. So thank you so much for having me here today. I'm Nikhilesh, and I'm one of the ICICI Bank representative for education loans. I hope I'm audible to all of you. Okay. So today, I would like to talk about education loans that are being provided by ICICI Bank and how it is different. And also, I want to talk about 1 second. I would like to check. Yeah. Okay. So I would like to talk about education loan funding program of ICICI Bank, and also I would like to talk about the multiple options that are available for the students whenever they got an opportunity to do their masters. And finally, we'll see how unique is ICICI Bank with respect to funding program for the students. Okay. So first and foremost thing, whenever a student got an opportunity to do their masters abroad, the first thing that will come to the minds will be definitely the cost involved in it, because everyone was aware that after seeing the fee structure of the university that previously we had, even I'm really amazed that the fee structures and the tuition fee involved and the living expenses, the complete funding involved in the process will be a bit high for a normal class family, right? So if at all, if you are seeing that particular thing, that particular aspect, we need to understand that a lot of things will come into the minds of the students and parents. What needs to be considered, how to provide, how to how to make the funds available for paying the tuition fee and the living expenses as well. So let us understand, first of all, let us understand what are things that a student will consider as the options or the funding options. First of all, let us understand the student's perspective. So student will think of multiple options, like, he'll think of about scholarship, and he'll think of student study awards and employment in the campus, own savings utilization, and finally he'll think of education loan. Okay, let us understand the parents' perspective as well. So parents will think of, utilizing their own savings amount that they are saving from long back, and they will think of utilizing their provident fund, and they'll also think of borrowing some amount from the relatives, and also they'll think of asset liquidation, which means that they will think of selling of the properties and to fund their students' education. And finally they'll think of education loan. So among all these available funding options for student for doing their masters abroad, we as a banker strongly recommend to go with an education loan, because there are a lot of benefits. I'll try to convince you by showing my slide over here. So I can say that education loan is the best funding option for your masters program abroad, because educational will comes with a tax benefit offer. This is not known to a lot of students and parents. This is very important to note, because uh, tax benefit, which means that whatever the interest that you are paying for the bank in a financial year can be utilized as a tax benefit. Okay, which means that I have an example also to describe. Let us say you have taken a 20 lakhs of education loan in a financial year, and if the interest rate is 12%, so the interest paid will be 2,40,000, which you can see here. So the complete amount, whatever you are paying as interest to the bank, can be availed as a tax benefit, which means that bank will provide a document which you can show it to the the income tax department, and you can avail a tax benefit. So tax benefit is available for both student and the parent as well. It means that both applicant and the co-applicant. Okay, so apart from the tax benefit, there are a lot of other benefits as well, like your own savings can be safeguarded, which means that if at all, if you have utilized your own savings for your children's education, let us say, so, and all of a sudden if some emergency comes, so then there will be no funds for you to overcome that particular situation. Again, you will be lending money for a higher interest rate. Okay, so better you can keep your own savings with you, or you can invest that savings at a higher interest rates, because education loan will be available at a very low interest rates compared to any other loans in the market. Okay, so it is relatively cheaper. Moratorium options are available. I will explain what moratorium option means in my next slide for ICICI Bank. And disbursements. So for universities will never ask for the complete amount in a single shot. Okay, so most of the universities will ask in multiple disbursement. Disbursement means transfer of money from a bank to the university. Okay, so university will ask for a first semester fee or a particular year fee, and they will ask in a multiple terms, right? So bank will provide that multiple disbursements, and if you take a certain amount of money in the first year, interest will be accrued on that particular amount only, not the complete amount. Okay, so considering all these things, and also you will be requiring some proof of funds as well, as Mr. Professor is also highlighting that particular point. A few countries ask for proof of funds before coming to any university or any country, like even Canada and Germany. All these countries are asking for proof of funds as well. So for those countries, we provide proof of funds certificate as well for the student, which means that whatever the amount that university is asking to show as funds, we will show it in your account and on your behalf. Okay. Apart from that, end-to-end assistance we are providing, and also one more important thing that parents must note here, that students will have a lifestyle which is very responsible if at all if they take education loan, which is very important. It is self-explanatory. If a student was taken education loan, he will be very much focused on getting a job over there, so that he can repay the education loan as soon as possible. That is very important, and the parents must consider this particular point whenever they are sending their students to abroad. And also building very good credit history. This is very important because in the current situation, if at all if a student takes education loan and if he repays properly, in the coming years, definitely he might be requiring loans for his personal use, like a personal loan or a home loan or a car loan, or even if he starts a small startup company, he can avail a business loan as well. So if at all if he takes an education loan and if he repays properly, he can get a very good credit history. So this credit history will help the student to avail lot many more loans in the coming future. Okay. So these are the benefits that education loan will be providing you, if at all if you are availing education loan from a bank. Okay. So let us understand the ICICI's features as well, so that we'll be. Yeah. So the first and foremost thing is that we are providing maximum up to ₹1 crore education loans. Okay, so it is not capped to 1 crore. Yeah, there are few cases recently where we have provided more than 1 CR as well. So if you consider one student who is going for an undergraduate study in US very recently, and we got a sanction for the student of up to ₹1.9 CR very recently. So if you are now requiring a funds up to ₹1 CR or more than 1 CR also, we are very happy to provide you the education loan for your studies. And there is no upper cap. I mean, a cap of 1.9 CR is there, which is a way more required and sufficient for your studies. Okay. We are providing unsecured loans as well. This is a very, very important point that maybe you are very interested in, because a lot of students looking for a collateral free loan, right? So, if you go to a public sector bank and all, they will definitely ask for, collateral, but ICICI is providing a collateral free loan as well, up to ₹40 lakhs. So, the parameters, how much you are getting from this 40 lakhs, how much unsecured loan you are getting, will be dependent upon the university and the course to which the student is going to, basically. Okay, so you need to know this particular point, because this is very important. If you are going to a university which is top listed with us, definitely you can get the complete 40 lakhs of unsecured loan amount. We don't ask any collateral. Okay, so depending upon the university, the unsecured loan amount that you are receiving will be slowly reducing. Okay, so if you want to know how much unsecured loan you will be receiving from us, you can contact the local partner, so that they will guide you to the education loan RM, so that you can understand how much unsecured loan you are availing from ICICI Bank. Okay, so yeah, up to 40 lakhs, it is very good point that you need to know, because without any collateral, we are providing education loans up to ₹40 lakhs. Okay. And wide range of courses we are providing. There is no specific limit that we are not providing to this particular courses or to this particular college. We don't have any such limitations, what I can say, for any country or for any university or for any course. Okay, flexible repayment and part payment options. At any point of time, if you got some amount of money through some sort of means, like let us say you got a scholarship in the university, you can repay the amount, that certain amount of scholarship for your education loan. Or else if you are working part-time, or if you're earning some good amount of money, and if you have some savings that you want to repay at any point of time, you can repay the education loan. Okay. And doorstep services are there. A very important point actually I would like to highlight here, that during this COVID situation, everyone was really scared to go outside to avail the education loan, right? So keeping this particular point in mind, we have started, processing of education loan completely online. So online application process is also there with ICICI Bank. So in this process, it is not required for you to come to any of our branches. Okay, so it's just a simple phone call. You can contact the local partner, the consultant, and you can get in touch with our education loan RM, so that we will start processing your application form completely online. Okay, so we will check your eligibility, and if you are eligible, we will be sending an online application form. So that form needs to be filled, and along with your KYC documents, if you can send to our education loan RM, in a week time, you can get a provisional sanction letter, which can be shown to your university, okay, to get the admission sanction, right? So a provisional sanction letter can be availed without any, so in the entire journey till the sanction stage, it is not required for any physical contact with our bank team, or it's not required for you to come to any of our branches or something like that. It's a complete online process till the sanction stage. And if it is required to transfer the money to the university, even we can do that as well by checking the hard copy documents as well then. Okay, so the loan processing will take hardly a week time. If at all, if it is a collateral required loan, then it will take hardly 12 to 14 days of that for providing the sanction. Okay, so this is all about our time processing, and also the process involved the online application form, basically because everyone must aware about the outside situation and no one wants to go outside. So I think ICICI Bank's initiative of providing online sanction letter will definitely help a lot of students for getting admissions in the universities. So quick and hassle-free process is available, and tax benefit offer. One more thing which I'm highlighting again and again, because a lot of students and parents are not aware about this tax benefit offer that is available for education loan. This tax benefit offer can be given by only banks, but not any NBFCs, because you might be heard about some NBFCs providing education loan. Those NBFCs cannot provide any tax benefit offer. Only banks, private banks or public sector banks can only provide this tax benefit offer. Okay, yeah. So let us see some more differentiating factors of our product. Yeah, so a lot of people will be definitely having a question on the interest rates. And one more thing, guys, you can just drop a text message in the chatbot so that we'll try to answer your queries. If you have any, you can just drop a text message, or we have a chatbot here, so that we will definitely answer whatever the queries you have. Any query respect to the rate of interest, or the collateral requirement, anything that comes to your mind, you can just drop a text message in the chatbot you have. Okay, I'll definitely try to answer that. Before, I would like to talk about the ROI as well, rate of interest. So our interest rate is currently starting at 10.5. Okay, so depending upon the university to which you are going to, it will, ranges between 10.5 to 12.25. Okay, it all depends on the university to which you are going to. So if you want to know exactly how much rate of interest you will be charged by the bank, and also how much unsecured loan amount you want to know, how much unsecured loan amount will be provided by ICICI Bank, if you want to know that, you can contact the local partner. They will definitely guide you to contact our education on RM, and we can take it forward. Yeah, so yes, there is no hidden cost. And one more thing that I would like to highlight here, forex remittance, which means that transferring of funds to the universities will completely take care because we have our in-house remittance team. So it's not your headache to transfer the money to the university account. We will directly transfer the money to the university account. Okay, and also we provide you a forex card as well. Okay, so which can be utilized. I mean, that will be loaded with the living expenses basically. So it's not that the tuition fee. We provide the living expenses, we provide the travel expenses, we provide anything related to your education loan requirement will be provided under our funding program. Okay, so the complete all the living expenses, all the expenses are covered under funding program. That's what I would like to highlight here. And apart from that, yeah, so we will directly remit the amount in the university account. It's not your headache, and we will give you a travel card or a forex card where we will load with this particular card with the living expenses of yours, so that you can directly use it in your the country where you are going to. Okay. Apart from this, yeah, moratorium option is also available where a course period. Let us say if you are doing your master's degree, it comes to almost 2 years of the program. So 2 years plus 6 months will be the moratorium period, where in this entire period, it is just a simple interest will be paid by you, and the complete EMI will be starting after the moratorium period. Okay, so in the moratorium period, you will be paying only the simple interest of the loan. Okay, moratorium period, which means that course period, let us say for you people, mostly it is two years of program, and 2 years plus 6 months will be the moratorium period that what we are offering. Okay. And one more thing, actually, so for all the students to, as a token of appreciation, whether if at all if they are availing sanction from ICICI Bank, we are providing a brochure with, there are a lot of vouchers that what we are offering to our students, like Make My Trip, Shopper Stop, because while a student is leaving the country, definitely he will be requiring some, items to be, bought before going to the other countries, right? So for buying all those stuff, we are providing a lot of vouchers with the sanction letter, so that you can utilize that particular thing while, while shopping, like anything that is related. All the things are explained here. Make My Trip and Shopper Stop. Lot of offers are there which will be provided to the student. Okay. So this is from our end. So definitely I will take some questions if you have, because I made it very short so that I can interact with all of you and answer the questions as many as possible. So let me check if you have any questions that are. Yeah, so someone is asking about the processing fee. So the processing fee is almost 1%, 1% of the sanction amount. So that is the industry usual thing that what we are charging. Any other questions? Please let us know so that we'll try to answer your queries. So team, again, I'm highlighting one more thing, that we have started the online processing of education loan, where you are not required to go to any branches. It is just a complete online process where you can initiate the process and you can get the sanction letter also in hand, the provisional sanction letter also in hand, which can be shown to the universities to get a pre-admission sanction. Yeah. So this is very important, and which is very useful for all of you, if at all if you are availing education loan, because now everyone is aware about this COVID situation outside. So everyone is really scared of going outside. So this particular process of processing of online journey will definitely help you guys. So it's a simple matter of contacting the local partner for availing loan. They'll definitely en route us to the ICICI Bank team, so that you can, on a phone call itself, we can start the processing of education loan. Okay, so that is about our online journey. Yeah, I'm just waiting for some more queries from all of you. Any query related to anything you can ask, you can just drop a message here so that I'll try to answer. So I would like to talk about the collateral as well. There are few universities where we can provide only 20 lakhs of unsecured loan. And if you want more than 20 lakhs of unsecured loan, so you need to keep some collateral for the extra amount. Let us say you need 30 lakhs of loan, but for that particular university, we can provide only 20 lakhs of education loan. So 20 lakhs of unsecured loan, basically. So the remaining 10 lakhs, you need to show the collateral. Okay, so collateral can be a residential property or your private buildings or anything related to the ownership of your applicant or the applicant. And also we will accept fixed deposit as well in ICICI as the collateral. Okay, So one of the beautiful thing is that if you have any fixed deposit in ICICI Bank, you can avail a pre-approved offer as well, which is running currently for all the customers who have an ICICI Bank account and have an FD. They can utilize FD as a collateral, and they can get a, in simple two steps, they can get a pre-approved offer or a pre-approved, sanction letter for the student for their studies. Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting for any queries from the students. Anything related to your anything related to the funding, basically. Any questions on the tax benefit, which is very important, but a lot of students are not aware about this. Please have a note and please understand what actually tax benefit is. It is very beneficial if once you start earning, definitely it will help you a lot, because it will help you a lot to save your taxes. Okay, this is very important concept, and it is associated with only education loan. Okay, so please try to understand that. Yeah, any of the queries, you can just please drop a message in the chat board, please. Any queries, please drop a message, or you can unmute yourself and you can talk as well. There is no problem. I'm just waiting for your response. I hope I'm just repeating again once more that we are providing unsecured loans also. So the unsecured loans are up to rupees 40 lakhs, and it depends upon the university, basically university and course to which you're going to. So if you want to know how much unsecured loan you will be getting, so you can get in touch with our local partner. They will guide you to the ICICI Bank in detail, so that you can get in touch with us. Okay. Any queries? Any queries regarding loan amounts or moratorium options? Anything? Yeah, I do have our teammate Sagar also with me. Sagar, you want to add something? You can unmute yourself and you can talk if you want to add anything that I have missed. Yes, Sagar, if you want to add anything, you can add, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Sagar, the Education Loan RM from Delhi region. So yeah, as Nikhilesh explained you about the product details in detail. So the major benefit means for the education loan, complete education loan, is the tax benefit, which he explained complete in detail. So if you have any queries, you can ask over here. And parallelly, I want to add one point that currently, whatever loan we are offering to any of the candidate, so the eligibility point. So we come to the eligibility point. So the eligibility which has been calculated for the complete loan amount, that is completely based upon the co-applicant, which we'll be adding in the loan deal. So suppose if if you take example of any student, suppose Preeta Patel. So suppose Preeta Patel wants to go to any university in Germany for XYZ program. So we'll be considering Preeta's parents as the financial co-applicant in the deal, or based on their financials, their income. That's if suppose his father is a salaried person, then we'll consider his financial details, and based on his financial details, we'll be calculating the loan eligibility. Along with that, we'll be checking whether that institute where Preeta has applied, it is coming under secured or unsecured exposure. So accordingly, we'll cross-check, and if collateral is required, then we'll consider the collateral. And we, as Nikhilesh explained, that we consider three things. One is the residential property, second is the commercial property, and third one is the fixed deposit. So suppose if the university is coming under 20 lakh unsecured exposure, so we won't take collateral for 20 lakh. But if the total tuition fee or the total costing of the education is coming above 20 lakhs, so for the balance amount, we'll be considering the collateral value. So we don't want, so suppose the total tuition fee is 30 lakhs. So up to 20 lakhs, we'll be providing you unsecured, and for the balance 10 lakh, we'll be considering the collateral. So I guess this is one of the biggest benefit why people go for this education loan. And parallelly, in the tax benefit, I would like to add one more point, that suppose if we are offering you 12% ROI and your father is coming under 30% tax slab, so the effective ROI will be 12% minus the 30% of 12%, which will be like 3.6. So 12 minus 3.6, which will be effective ROI, will be 8.4 only, which your parents have to bear from their pocket. Only the interest part, which they have to serve during the moratorium period. And the moratorium period, as Nikhilesh explained, it's the course period plus the 6 months, which we are offering as of now from the bank side. Yeah. So anybody has having any queries? So yeah, you may ask over here. Guys, need your participation so that we can clear all your doubts.
Thanks, Sagar, actually, for your points that I have missed it. Yeah, seriously. So if you consider the effective ROI will be definitely comes way less than the rate of interest what we are offering. If you take the tax benefit offer, it is. Thank you so much, Sagar. I just missed the point.
Sure. Thanks, Nikhilesh.
Yeah. So any queries related to anything that you want to know about education loan, you can just drop a small text message in the chat board. Yeah, I understand that this we can get some students. Thank you for inviting us on this platform, and thanks for your patience, everyone who have watched this video. Thank you.